Hello and welcome to KubeCon.
We hope you're learning a lot about the Kubernetes ecosystem.
We thought we'd share some open source tools to help you on your cloud native adventure. Let's start with a graduated CNCF project. Helm is the package manager for Kubernetes. It's one of the most frequently used CNCF projects, and you can use it to install and manage software on your Kubernetes clusters with a single command.
Lots of exciting news in the Helm ecosystem right now. Lots of changes, and you don't want any interruption in availability, so all Helm users should look at the Helm blog today.
The Kubelet project launched a few months ago with two goals. One, make it easy to deploy WebAssembly workloads on Kubernetes. And two, show how to build and architectural pieces of Kubernetes in other languages. Most programs written for Kubernetes are written in Go. Kubelet is written in Rust.
The result? Cleaner and more manageable and easily extensible code with Rust compiler safety benefits. Kubelet is not intended to replace the kubelet. When run together, clients can run both traditional Linux container workloads and WebAssembly workloads in the same cluster. Applications written in WebAssembly can communicate with applications compiled in Linux containers, and both types of workloads can interact with the rest of the cluster. Dogs, cats, living together. Hopefully no mass hysteria.
This is Acry. Think of it as a plug and play for Kubernetes. You name it, Acry finds it. You use it.
I'm interested in what kind of exciting edge conditions, no pun intended, we can uncover. And the ever popular service mesh. Everyone wants one, and then they realize how much work it might be. There's a complexity tax.
OSM is a lightweight service mesh built on Envoy that implements SMI. It's a CNCF sandbox project. It ships with a CLI you can install very simply, onboard your applications, and see what Service Mesh can do for you.
Service Mesh Interface, also a CNCF sandbox project, is the specification that provides a standard interface for service meshes on Kubernetes with a basic feature set for the most common service mesh use cases, the flexibility to support new service meshes, and room for the ecosystem to innovate.
If you're looking for tooling like the progressive deployment tool Flagger, it uses SMI under the hood to program all these different service meshes. Mesh interoperability gives end users more choices. Next up, we have Gatekeeper. It's a tool for those who want to build policy on Kubernetes, built on Open Policy Agent. Gatekeeper allows you to create user-defined policy to ensure that Kubernetes resources are compliant.
Like restricting which container images can be launched, or ensuring that resources have memory and CPU limits, or that your load balancers have only local IPs instead of being on the public internet.
Gatekeeper v3 is at a stable release and is recommended for production use.
And Open Policy Agent, the parent project for Gatekeeper, is a CNCF graduated project, so pretty well established.
There are other great tools in this project like CompTest, great for your CI/CD pipelines, and an OPA plugin for VS Code. Next up, we have Porter, the friendlier cloud installer, which allows you to declaratively define an application and its dependencies into one bundle for installation. Porter makes application reuse and distribution easier.
Porter is an implementation of CNAB, which is a spec for packaging distributed apps, bundling, installing, and managing of container-native apps and their coupled services. Cloud-agnostic, air-gapped systems, cryptographically verified, everything you need to ensure it's trustworthy.
Kata is a really cool project that allows you to scale up from zero. Kata enables functions runtimes like Azure Functions, Knative, and others. It provides a Kubernetes native way to do event-driven auto-scaling and supports multiple backends. The interesting thing about Dapper is it provides a different take on microservices. You may have event streams and other backing services, and Dapper exposes those as sidecars. You can have these integrations natively without needing to implement them in your source code.
So moving the logic around into the Lego pieces. The classic conservation of complexity. Brigade is great when your configuration needs go beyond YAML because you can write JavaScript and have it run arbitrary pipelines as needed to carry out tasks in your cluster.
You may have heard of Cluster API or Cluster API for Azure. It allows you to declaratively build Kubernetes clusters. So think of a YAML file that defines how your Kubernetes cluster is to be built. CAPI implements that with a series of controllers.
And CAPZ is the Azure provider to Cluster API. It's turtles all the way up. Instead of choosing between Kubernetes and serverless, Virtual Kubelet says, why not both? VK gives you a kubelet, which schedules Kubernetes workloads, and this replacement kubelet behaves just as the workloads expect, but it's scheduling to alternate runtimes.
There's a plugin for Azure Container Instances, for AWS Fargate, and more. You can schedule to serverless backends and scale in different resource usage properties. One of my personal favorite tools is the Kubernetes extension for VS Code. I like how it lets you do so much without leaving your IDE. You can introspect everything running in your Kubernetes cluster, look at logs, right-click exec into a container or a pod, and operate in there. Search a Helm library for different applications you might want to install. Scaffold out YAML file for Kubernetes resources and have tab completion. It's a great tool for those who don't want to use kube control and instead want a Kubernetes native experience in their IDE, regardless of where the Kubernetes is running.
This Kubernetes extension does so much, it just might convert me from VI to VS Code. But I'm keeping my kube cuddle though. We look forward to chatting with you during KubeCon and going forward on GitHub and in the community.
Thanks so much for joining us for this Cloud Native Sampler, looking at open source tools you can use on your cloud native journey.